Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Happy Friday, everybody. I would like to start this video on a positive note before I get into why I think Harry is an idiot. I have about a million reasons why I think that is the case, but Thursday's stunt might just take the cake. Before we get into that, can we start with a ray of sunshine? Guys, Thursday marked Prince Louis's 8th birthday. Look at that, he's so cute. So to celebrate the happy occasion, his mom and dad, the Prince and Princess of Wales, released a video of him playing in Cornwall at the beach. I think that is so cute and he looks so just grown up. He's growing up so fast, it's unbelievable. But I wanted to start on a happy note and show you this handsome young man on his what would have been his 8th birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Prince Louis. Aw, so cute. All right. Everybody take a deep breath. Hi, let's talk. Bye, Prince Louis. Hi, let's talk. All right. So here's what's going on. You ready? I'm stretching. All right. I usually stick to mostly Meghan because I find her way more, I'm going to say interesting, and I don't mean that in a positive way. I find that she does kooky things, crazy things. And I just psychologically, I'm just like, what's she going to do next? What weird narc attention grab thing is she going to do next? Harry, I find dull, boring, room temperature IQ, you name it. Okay. So I don't often just do stories on Harry. I don't because I just can't with him. But I can't not talk about this. I know you've seen it. I know you have. But in case you haven't, let's talk about what Doofus is doing. Here we go. By the way, everybody brace yourself because this is the one that we supposedly all want. That's what the sugars say. All right. Templeton, I mean, Harry, beady-eyed Beaker. Sorry, Beaker. Love Beaker. Okay, for real. Let's talk. He's in Kyiv. He went to the Ukraine. Lest we forget that he said it's too dangerous for him to go to the UK without his security and that his kids can't go see their grandfather, their cousins, because it's too dangerous for him. But here he is, Captain Hypocritical in a war-torn country. All right. So I know you know he's there. Oh, God, I can't even stand to look at his face. I'm going to show you one more, and then I got to take him down. I cannot with him. I know you know he's there, but let's talk about it. Oh, he really is the worst. Where to start? All right. Here's Prince Harry doing another publicity stunt. He's seeking relevance. He had a disaster of a trip to Australia. It's Prince Louis's birthday, and I'm so I mean, I can't stop talking about it. This book was so good. So good. Watch my recaps of this book. I learned so much more about how both of them work behind the scenes because of this book. It's what we suspected, but it's even more, and it's more hairy than I realized because I thought it was mostly Meghan that was like, oh, it's Princess of Wales' birthday. We got to do this or that. We got to try to steal attention. Absolutely, it goes into how Harry very much plays this game and does it a lot with King Charles, especially like the first day King Charles was coming back from his cancer treatments. When King Charles goes to any kind of visit, um, next week King Charles will be in Washington, I believe. So look for Harry to do something there. Today is Prince Louis's birthday. I'm telling you, before I would have said, okay, I don't know if that's so much. It's Harry. Harry's doing stuff like this. I'm telling you, anything to get attention. Okay. So there's that. I really feel like, in my opinion, they are struggling so hard after everything, all the failures, everybody cutting them loose and everybody seeing through their antics. And then him going on that disaster of an Australia trip and talking about not wanting to be royal while using the titles and doing a faux royal tour. I know it's not that, but you know what I mean? Like taking this vacation, but treating it like a faux royal tour. We see what you're doing, Captain Hypocrite. We see you. So again, here he is in a war zone for headlines right after this huge backlash, rightly so, in Australia, using sick kids, everything else, tragedies for his own exploiting. Oh, it's really, really sickening. There's so much backlash now. What did he decide to do but to go to the Ukraine? What's he doing? He's giving a speech. He's giving a speech. Who does this guy think he is? It doesn't make any sense at all. You talk about inflated sense of self. Again, I always say Meghan's that. She is. But it is shocking to see how much Harry thinks of himself, that he thinks he can go over and give a speech and try to, I don't know, lecture people on what they should be doing. It is crazy on a new level. Let's talk about it. So, obviously, hypocrisy on security. People are talking about that. Um, I mean, I just don't, it's a surprise trip, right, to Kyiv. And he met with senior Ukrainian military. He met with wounded soldiers. This is the first time, sorry, no, this is the third time he's visited since 2022. He's using the ties to Invictus and veterans work, but he's there he's there for attention. This is real. He's playing games with real consequences here. He's giving speeches to Putin. He is giving speeches to Trump. And as I always say, I'm not trying to get political. I don't care how you feel, left or right or somewhere in between, whatever. I'm just pulling back and saying, nobody, I would say the same if it was Biden. I would say the same if it's anybody. He shouldn't be giving speeches telling people in charge how to run things. I think that is, again, to quote Spaceballs, ludicrous. It absolutely is. It's sickening. So, okay. Breathe, Jen, breathe. Here we go. So he's saying no nation benefits from the continued loss of life. There's still a moment now to stop this war, to prevent further suffering. And then I just can't with him. He's telling Trump to honor international treaty obligations, referencing the Ukraine giving up nuclear weapons in the 90s with, okay. He's highlighting Ukraine's leadership resilience. Okay. I'm going to get into the response because it's been swift, but I'm just telling you, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't at all. Hypocrisy on security is the least problematic, but let's talk about that. You know, everybody's talking about how he's claiming that the UK is too unsafe for him and his family, trying to take on this taxpayer-funded security, and yet here he is flying to a war zone. I'm going to read you Piers Morgan's statement because it's brilliant. He's overstepping as a private citizen. Once again, he's lecturing world leaders again, while he's not representing anybody, but he seems to think he's representing the UK or cosplaying as he's representing the UK. So again, Trump's sharp response, I will show you because he did respond. It's more, to me, it seems like he wants to embarrass King Charles on what could be the eve of it's next week, the state visit to the US. Okay, so people are pointing out that he is trying to seemingly overshadow Prince Archie's birthday. And I hear how I just said Archie. I'm so sorry. Let me try that again. He's trying to overshadow Prince Louis's birthday. And I know how that sounds. If it's anybody else, I'd be like, that might be just coincidental. It is Harry. And I'm telling you, throughout this book, there are a million examples of this. This is what he does. He may have learned it from Meghan. I don't know. Maybe she learned it from him at this point. I don't know. I don't care. That's what he's doing. It's absolutely what he's doing. He's trying to get the maximum amount of attention by doing this. I would think that this would not help. I don't know how it would play in his U.S. visa issues going on, the family tensions going on. Who I really feel for right now is the royal family. I do. It's not that I think they lose sleep over Harry, but he just keeps jabbing him. I am telling you, it is time to strip those titles. There have been times before where I'm like, yeah, I agree, but King Charles has a lot going on and maybe just ignore him. No, screw all that. They need to strip the titles. I don't care. I've heard before, well, don't strip his titles because then she can go by Princess Henry. No, they've now proved through I'm going to get it wrong. What is it? Articles patent? Those articles, the way they did Andrew, they can do to Harry and Meghan. They can take those titles. They can take them from whomever. I'm not going to get into I was going to say they can take them from the kids too. I just don't talk about the kids. So I don't care about that so much. I care about Harry and Meghan right now. We'll figure out the kids when they're older. Right now, let's just figure out Harry and Meghan. They need to strip those titles. They are doing it's not even a half in, half out thing that they weren't supposed to be doing. They're doing they're playing with fire. They are. It's dangerous what they're doing, I think. I think this is. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm just telling you, I think this is dangerous what he's doing. Okay, first I want to talk about Trump's response. Again, I'm not getting political. I'm just telling you, state of fact, what happened. So Harry's out there calling for American leadership to honor this international treaty obligations. Okay. So Trump immediately clapped back with, it was during a press conference. He said, quote, Prince Harry, how's he doing? How's his wife? Please give her my regards. Prince Harry's not speaking for the UK. I think I'm speaking for the UK more than Prince Harry is. I'm sorry, but that's really funny. That's really funny. I don't care. I think that's really funny. So, it's funny. Okay. So there's that. That was the first thing. Let me tell you some other responses that have gone viral on this because people are reacting. Piers Morgan says, quote, so hypocrite Harry flies straight from British court where he's suing for more protection in the UK because it's too dangerous for him to a war zone in the Ukraine. He really is as dumb as a rock. I think that's really funny. All right, Dan Wootton says, I guess he has a video called Fleeing His Wife. Prince Harry ditches Meghan Markle and kids for Ukraine to overshadow Prince Louis. In it, he describes the trip as Harry shaming the British royal family with, quote, a hyper-political speech right after the Australia tour and again on Louis's 8th birthday. He frames it as Harry bolting from the family for publicity. A lot of people are talking about running away from his wife and kids for the publicity. Other royal commentators, such as Richard Palmer, who's on GB News, says the reaction has been uniform. People are saying, hang on, he's coming over because he needs police protection because he's not safe in the UK. But then again, going into a war zone in the Ukraine. Daily Mail says it's hypocrisy in the context of Harry's past family tensions and security demands, with one saying it left people, quote, spitting blood. Just the overall sentiments online and on X and things that I've seen, and again with Piers Morgan calling him dumb as a rock, and the fleeing his wife, that seems to be the narrative that's flying around. So my thoughts on this are, why does he continue to insert himself, especially now, into global politics? Well, they've been on a clear downward spiral. I have been obsessed with this book. I can't talk about it enough. And it's really pulled back the curtains on years of alleged, things like this, power plays, deceit, things like that, burn bridges, and the way that those two operate, from their alleged treatment of staff to their strategies post-Megxit. Can you believe that they seem to think they have a strategy? It just seems like they're throwing stuff at the wall. Then came the Australia tour just days ago, right? And many are calling such a disaster and a total cash grab. And thin crowds, ticket prices are slashed to half for Harry's events, and they're still finding sparse crowds using Australia as an ATM. Of course, they're out there saying, we didn't use taxpayer funds and stuff. And then people are speaking up saying, yeah, some were used because of police involvement and stuff. So I don't believe anything Harry and Meghan say. So if they say they didn't, then they probably did. Harry jets off to the Ukraine right after, again, just to try to deliver a speech lecturing anybody on anything, right? It screams like relevance. Look at me. Look at me. I'm trying to be Harry. I'm relevant. I eat crayons. When your brand is sinking, a war zone visit, right? I'm grief grifting as usual. Let's find a tragedy and see if we can exploit that. So there we are. It just becomes his go-to spotlight move. She's over there telling people about Meghan, I was the most bold person in the world. And he's over here like going to a war zone. We need to, all I can think of, did you ever see Forgetting Sarah Marshall? I love that movie. Okay. Do you remember? I know he's been canceled since, so we don't have to talk about it. But one of the characters, played by an actor who's been canceled, is singing a song, and it's basically a joke on how ludicrous some of these celebs are. Like, they just all talk, no substance. So he sings a song. He says, "We got to do something. We got to do something." And it's like, okay, but what are we gonna do? Like, you're just saying words. What are we gonna do? It's like, we know something's bad. We got to do something. It's like, oh my God, that's Harry's theme song at this point. That's Harry and Meghan's theme song. I don't know. It just, what do you think? Tell me your thoughts on all this. It sickens me. It really does. It's time. Come on, King Charles. We got to do something. We got to strip those titles. This is ridiculous. Even for them, this is ridiculous. Tell me your thoughts on all this. Typically, when Harry does crazy stunts like this, Meghan goes quiet. Remember when Spare came out, she was nowhere to be found for a while. Again, we go into it in this book. She disappears when he's in real hot water. So I imagine has him in hot water. So she's gonna be gone for a little bit. So I'm curious to see what happens there. I'm curious to read your comments on this and let me know your thoughts. That's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. In case you missed it, I haven't talked about it enough. Watch this book. I put up the last chapter yesterday, and the first time I tried to upload it, there was a problem. So I re-uploaded it. So if you only saw the first 10 minutes, I apologize. I fixed it. I re-uploaded. The whole video is up there now. So now the whole book has been recapped. I will put out my final thoughts on it in a video, and I'll be doing some best of sections coming soon. So check for that. I also have a sit down with John Witherspoon, friend of the channel, coming. Look for that. We really get into some of Harry's legal issues, what's going on, our thoughts on Harry and Meghan, everything from Australia to all the shenanigans they've pulled lately, and so much more. Look for that. And keep watching my shorts. Thank you guys so much for being here. I can't wait to read your comments on this and everything else. I truly hope you all have the best day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh. He's such an idiot. I'm sorry. It's just, why? I can't look at him. Anyway, how are you? I'm so mad. I just turned beet red. I noticed when I was yelling, I was like, oh God, I'm turning red. Yeah, I'm turning red. It's fine. That happens. Anyway, guys, he's an idiot. He really is. What's he doing? I mean, he's always an idiot, but he's a big old idiot, isn't he? All right, changing subject. Look, I cut my hair. I got my hairs cut. I took a couple inches off, did some layering. What do we think? I colored it a little bit. I'm very happy with it. I think it turned out super cute. Let me know your thoughts. It is funny though, like this happens if I am about to go on vacation. I'm taking next week off, but I'll still have lots of stuff here. Don't worry. But so I just know anytime I do something or I go somewhere or try to just take a couple days away, that's when they do the craziest stuff. So I will have stuff up. If they do crazy things, I'll talk about it as soon as I get back. Don't worry about that. But yeah, that's what's going on with me. Let me know what's going on with you. I can't wait to read your thoughts on this and everything else. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all your wonderful comments on Betrayal. I appreciate that so much. Can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. Harry and Meghan suck. They continue to suck, and I will continue to call it out. Come on, King Charles. Time to strip them. Come on, King Charles. All right, take care. Talk to you later. Bye. Harry's an idiot. That guy's so dumb. Ugh.